The galaxy had seen war before, human wars, alien wars, entire civilizations erased from existence. But nothing in history compared to what appeared inside the Andromeda Rift that night. Because for the first time, humans and aliens stopped fighting each other and became terrified of the same enemy. An enemy older than stars, an enemy powerful enough to erase planets without firing a single weapon. And the worst part? It was awake now. The remains of destroyed ships floated silently across the Andromeda Rift like burning graveyards. Broken human cruisers drifted beside shattered alien warships. Flames escaped into the darkness. Emergency signals echoed endlessly across space. The battle against the Void King had already cost millions of lives, and it had barely begun. Inside the human flagship Eternum, chaos consumed every level of the ship. Warning sirens screamed non-stop. Smoke filled the corridors. Security teams fought infected civilians in the lower sectors, while medics desperately tried saving survivors. Captain Elias Ward stood on the damaged bridge, staring at the giant creature beyond the viewport. The Void King. Its enormous body floated near the collapsed star like a living shadow, large enough to swallow worlds. Blue energy pulsed beneath its skin. Every few seconds, another ship vanished into darkness around it. Not destroyed, erased, as if it had never existed. Weapons Officer Mira Chen approached Elias slowly. "We lost 12 more ships," she said quietly. Elias didn't respond immediately. "How many civilians are still alive aboard the fleet?" Mira hesitated before answering. "Maybe 60%. The silence that followed felt heavier than space itself. Millions already dead. Millions more infected. And the Void King was still growing stronger. Suddenly, another explosion shook the Eternum violently. The bridge lights flickered. "Captain," a navigation officer shouted, "more infected crews are taking control of the outer defense sectors." Elias clenched his fists. The infection was spreading too fast. The creature wasn't just attacking ships, it was invading minds. Every infected person became another doorway connecting the Void King deeper into reality. The silver-skinned alien commander appeared once again on the main screen. His calm expression had completely disappeared now. Behind him, alien officers rushed desperately through burning corridors. Even their advanced civilization was collapsing. "Our fleets cannot survive much longer," the alien warned. Elias looked toward him sharply. "Then tell me how your species fought this thing before." The alien remained silent for several seconds. Then he answered quietly, "We failed." The bridge became still. "Our empire once controlled thousands of star systems," the alien continued. "We believed we were powerful enough to contain the Void King." Images appeared across the damaged screens, ancient alien worlds filled with enormous glowing cities. Then the images changed. Darkness spreading across planets, entire suns collapsing, galaxies burning. The Void King consumed almost everything we were. Mira stared at the images in disbelief. "How did any of your people survive?" The alien lowered his head slightly. "We ran." Those words hit Elias harder than any weapon. An empire advanced enough to cross galaxies, had fled in fear, and now humanity faced the same nightmare. Suddenly, every light aboard the bridge turned blue again. The whispers returned instantly. Soft, cold, inside everyone's mind. "You cannot escape." Several crew members collapsed screaming. One officer suddenly grabbed a pistol and turned toward the others. His eyes glowed bright blue. "Infected," someone shouted. Before security could react, the officer fired wildly across the bridge. Glass exploded. Panels sparked. Another officer fell dead instantly. Security teams opened fire and killed the infected crewman seconds later. But the damage was already done. Fear spread across the room. Nobody trusted anyone anymore. because anyone could become infected at any moment. Elias looked toward the alien commander again. How do we stop the infection? The alien hesitated, then answered quietly. The Void King feeds on fear, grief, anger. Every dark emotion strengthens its connection. Mira frowned. So the more terrified we become, the stronger it grows. Outside the ship, another human cruiser suddenly exploded after colliding with an infected alien destroyer. The battlefield had become complete madness. Human ships fired on infected allies. Alien warships attacked their own formations. And through all of it, the Void King watched silently, almost amused. Deep inside the civilian sectors, Noah Reyes and his younger sister Lily hid inside an abandoned maintenance tunnel. The sounds of distant gunfire echoed through the metal walls around them. Lily held tightly onto Noah's arm, shaking with fear. "Are we going to die?" she whispered. Noah looked exhausted, but he forced himself to stay calm for her. "No," he lied softly. "We're getting out of here." Suddenly, distant footsteps echoed through the tunnel. Slow, dragging. Noah quickly turned off his flashlight. The darkness became complete. The footsteps came closer, closer, then stopped. Lily covered her mouth to stop herself from crying. A faint blue glow slowly appeared at the far end of the tunnel. Someone stood there, motionless, their eyes glowing bright blue. Then another infected figure appeared beside it. Then another. Noah's heartbeat pounded violently. The infected civilians smiled unnaturally in the darkness, and together they whispered, "We found you." Back on the bridge, Captain Elias finally made a decision. He turned toward Mira. "Prepare every remaining ship for retreat." Several officers looked shocked. "You're abandoning the rift?" Mira asked. Elias stared at the Void King. "If this thing reaches the inner colonies, humanity ends." "So what's the plan?" Elias looked toward the alien commander. "We lure it away from populated systems." The alien's dark eyes narrowed slightly. "A suicide mission." Elias gave a tired smile. "Looks that way." Suddenly, alarms exploded across the bridge again. "Captain!" Huge energy surge detected. The Void King was moving. Its gigantic body slowly turned toward the human fleet. Blue energy gathered inside its massive mouth. The alien commander's face darkened instantly. "It's preparing another attack." Every surviving ship in the rift tried to scatter. Too late. The Void King opened its mouth and fired. A giant beam of pure darkness tore across space. Everything it touched disappeared instantly. Human battleships, alien cruisers, entire fleets erased from existence. Even space itself seemed ripped apart. Shockwaves slammed into the Eternum violently. The ship spun uncontrollably. Warning sirens screamed across every deck. "Hull breaches detected. Life support failing. Reactor instability rising." Mira struggled to hold on to her console. "We can't survive another hit." Elias looked at the collapsing battlefield outside, thousands dead in seconds, and the Void King still looked unstoppable. Then suddenly, the creature stopped moving. Every surviving sensor aboard the fleet detected the same impossible thing. Another gravitational distortion, even larger than before. The alien commander slowly looked toward the darkness behind the Void King. And for the first time since meeting him, Elias saw absolute terror in the alien's eyes. "What is it?" Elias demanded. The alien whispered only 3 words. "There are more." Far beyond the battlefield, the darkness behind the Void King began moving. At first, the surviving fleets thought it was debris from destroyed ships. Then the stars disappeared, one by one, like something enormous was blocking them. Mira stared at the sensors in disbelief. "No, no way." The readings kept climbing, higher, Higher. Impossible levels of mass and energy flooded every remaining system aboard the Eternum. Then suddenly, more blue eyes opened in the darkness. Not one pair, hundreds. Entire crews froze in horror. The alien commander looked completely broken now. The Void King was never alone, he whispered. Gigantic shapes slowly emerged behind the first creature, massive living shadows drifting silently through space, some larger than moons, others large enough to dwarf entire fleets. Human officers stared in disbelief as ancient cosmic entities filled the rift like gods awakening from endless sleep. Lily's terrified voice echoed through Noah's communicator from the maintenance tunnel. "Noah, what are those things?" Noah couldn't answer, because he didn't know how. How could anyone explain monsters bigger than planets? Back on the bridge, panic exploded among the remaining crews. "We can't fight all of them. There are too many. Captain, we need to retreat now." But Elias already understood the horrifying truth. There was nowhere left to run. If these creatures escaped the rift, every human colony would fall. Every civilization would disappear. Earth's last survivors, alien worlds, everything, gone. The silver-skinned alien commander finally spoke again. "There is one chance left." Elias looked toward him immediately. "What chance?" The alien hesitated, then activated a hidden holographic map. At the center of the rift, near the collapsed star, a giant circular structure appeared buried beneath layers of space debris. Mira frowned. "What is that?" the alien answered quietly. "A prison." The bridge fell silent. "Our ancestors built it thousands of years ago to seal the void entities outside our universe." Elias stepped closer to the hologram. "And it still works?" "Partially." "Then why didn't you use it before?" The alien looked ashamed. "Because activating it requires enough energy to destroy everything nearby." Mira slowly realized the truth. "The Oblivion Protocol." The alien nodded. "Your weapon could restart the prison." Elias stared at the hologram silently. The superweapon humanity created for destruction could become the only thing capable of saving the galaxy. But there was a problem. The prison sat directly beneath the Void King itself. Someone would need to manually deliver the weapon inside the rift core. A mission nobody could survive. The bridge became silent again. Then Elias spoke calmly. "I'll do it." Mira turned toward him instantly. "No,